Hey everyone, my name's Gunther, and welcome back to another episode of Planet Zoo. In today's episode, there's a few things I need to talk to you guys about. Number one is our schedule. I'm committed to uploading, trying to upload anyway, Tuesdays and Fridays moving forward. So trying to do 2 episodes a week on a consistent basis, and get away from this inconsistent pattern that we are currently in. And that's my goal. I'm gonna try to push for it. So that's number one. That's the easiest thing to kind of address. I just want to also address a few things as well. Number one is I just want to say thank you for all the feedback that everybody's providing, the tips and tricks, and just the general well wishes. That means a lot, and I really appreciate that. I appreciate you guys for actually coming to see this and to view this and to watch this, and it means a lot to me. So thank you very much. I'll always continue to try to respond to everybody as much as possible, as fast as possible as well. And I will say I've learned quite a bit in my endeavor to take this on. I think that my skills from where they are when I first started to what they've become have really progressed, and I really have to thank you guys for pushing me to do that. So I just want to say heartfelt thank you. In today's episode, we need to settle a few things, and I kind of did a few things off camera. Number one is we need to bring in some additional animals to our zoo. We do have some animals currently sitting in quarantine. We actually have 5 animals in quarantine. That's concerning. Let's see here. What do we? There we go. Let's see here. We have a buffalo. So or a bison. We are going to move the bison into his new habitat. We also have a new prairie dogs, so we'll go ahead and move them over. And we've also picked up 2 new Arctic foxes. We actually paid for the first time in a long time. We sunk a lot of our conservation credits into moving over and replenishing the genetic diversity of our Arctic foxes. And lastly, our wolf habitat was becoming a little slim. We have a 1 pup, and then we have 2 regular wolves. So we're going to go ahead and add in another wolf. So that's used up the majority of our conservation credits, which is really all we could do. Now we need to address the happiness of our guests. And as you can tell, they're very unhappy because they're thirsty, they're a little hungry, and that's pretty much our biggest concern right now. And I think today's episode is going to be about setting up our food court, just a little over here. Now that I look at it, though, it's not very straight when I look at it from this perspective. When I zoom out, you can kind of see it kind of goes a little lopsided, but we're going to try to work with that. We also want to fill up and kind of set up our entrance, and in order to do so, we have to say goodbye to our initial info shop. We created this as a way to say, really to provide something for our guests initially, but I think we can say goodbye to them, and we're going to make something a little bit more custom. May not be as nice, but who knows? And we're also going to flesh this up a little bit and see what we can do. So we're going to start off with that. We'll dive into the traditional speed up. All right, is this the best opening? No. Is it my first one I've ever created? Yeah. So I'm actually kind of happy. The lights may be a little overpowered. I wish you could modify the intensity. Like drop the lumens a little bit, just make it a little bit warmer. I think that would be fantastic. Maybe I'll have to look at the lights a little bit more, but I'm quite happy with that. It's just a nice little welcome sign with some very man-made plants, which is the intent. When you're making something like this, like a flower box like this, it would be very man-made. You know, it would be very linear. There would be a lot of symmetry behind everything, and that's what I tried to kind of go before. Because as with everything man-made, that's what it is. With our info booth, I you know what? I kind of like the Arctic items. In fact, actually, you know what? I think we need just one little Arctic centerpiece. I don't know. Maybe we can find it. Maybe. Who knows? But I think it needs a little bit something a little extra. Let's see. What is this under? Color me shocked. Arctic pack. Let's see. Oh, it helps if I spell Arctic right. That would be a requirement. It's not popping out, so we'll have to we'll do that. Maybe we'll put a little bit of a symbol right there, just to kind of like you know, break it up a little bit. But I'm kind of happy with this. It doesn't go with the rest of the theme, but hey, it's a northern theme, so you know, I feel like that would work. I actually made this not that it would ever be used, but like kind of like a little back staff entrance. Yeah. I know in the game they kind of just hop over, but the reality is they would never really do that, so we can kind of go ahead with that. But I'm quite happy with this. Now you will have noticed I kind of kept everything running in the background, and the reason why is we need to unlock a lot of our stuff, and this is how we're gonna do it. We're just gonna run in the background while we work. So we'll go ahead and start unlocking a lot of the extra themes so we can get access to them, and then that'll help out with our building. Now I am gonna go and we're gonna start on our a little bit of a food court kind of going on over here, just to kind of flesh this out, give you know, satisfy some of the needs. They're getting there, but we definitely need to satisfy some of them. In other news though, we have to figure something out with these exhibits. Now in hindsight, setting these exhibits up right here, it was the right thing to do. We wanted to have exhibits that were close to the entrance. We wanted to take advantage of the power, everything that it was providing. But as our zoo is growing, this doesn't really necessarily need to be here. In fact, and I think I mentioned it in another episode, doesn't make sense to actually have Arctic foxes where they are right now. They should be more of an interior habitat anyway. So we'll need to look at maybe updating that and pulling that through. Maybe we will, you know, our zoo will experience a renaissance, and they'll go through a little bit of an update. And I think that would be normal. You know, we've been open for 15 years now. We've expanded our zoo slowly, and we're making some gains. And I think maybe it's time to update this. Now, I was thinking what we could do, and you know, give me your feedback, give me your thoughts. Maybe we could turn this into a alligator exhibit and have like a little bit of a what we'll do is we'll have like a little bit of a ramp that goes up and over, and we'll bridge these two together, make it a little bit more natural, and then we'll create one large alligator exhibit, maybe something along those lines. But hey, it doesn't have to be an alligator exhibit. Give me your thoughts. Let me know what you think we should put here, and we'll try it out, see what happens. But I'm thinking maybe these exhibits have reached their end of life. And, you know, after 15 years, they would be fairly dilapidated. We would need to go in and do a whole rebuild anyway. So it kind of fits with the theme of kind of keeping things running all at once. But that's for a future episode, and we're not quite there yet. Now, moving over here, we do need to set up a few key things, you know, specifically food, drink, and a washroom. Now, there's a few ways that we can do about this. Now, I come from Canada. I think I said that previously, and I love the Toronto Zoo. But the one thing I noticed about the Toronto Zoo, and a lot of zoos for that matter, is you don't really have a large food court per se. What you would have is you know, a series of small pop-ups, you know, small, really small buildings that would cater to your guests. And I think that's what we're gonna do. We could eventually build up an actual item, but I don't think we're there yet. But today, what we're gonna do is we're gonna work on building up maybe a few little pop-ups, and we'll kind of try to work it into what we have here. I think maybe we'll do one right here, and some seating areas in the center, and we'll go from there. So let's start that. So it's gonna be a twofer episode. You're gonna see two quick builds, and we'll see how that turns out. Well, I will admit, a bit embarrassing. I finished the build, and then I started talking about it, not realizing I had accidentally muted my microphone. I don't know why that happened. I did it unintentionally, but hey, mistakes happen. So quite a bit has happened. We've built our first building, and I'm actually quite happy with this. We've added on some extra space to the back, and the reason why, and I I get it. They in the game they will hop over their counter to get out, but in most in normal world they would actually have a backstage area where they can kind of walk through. This would actually have access to the a cleaning room to help support the washroom, things like that. But I think that's why it has this little bit of a unique design. I like the idea of having the washroom built in. The washroom, as with many buildings, they're quite small, so it doesn't really make sense. So adding a little bit of extra space kind of works in our favor. And yeah, so I'm quite happy with that. I added a little bit of extra details, just like a border right here, kind of cool. I'm kind of happy with that. Actually, that I say that, we're just gonna lift this up just a tad, like so. But yeah, so I am really happy with this. It's a unique build. It's one of my first buildings, and we're satisfying. It looks like drinks were in high demand. The downside of, of building something like this is that we are going to start to see quite a few new litter issues. So what I've done is I have picked up quite a few additional caretakers to help take care of that litter problem, and we'll need to set down some garbage cans to help lift that up. So I'm quite happy. I think eventually, maybe not right off the bat, I do want to get back to building a new exhibit. I have an idea in mind, but our next step would be to essentially mirror this design on the other side and kind of create like a nice little path, and we'll populate some tables and chairs in the center here, and kind of make it like a little bit of a little outdoor food court. Maybe we'll build a now I'm thinking about, maybe we'll build like kind of like a gazebo style in the center, so if it rains they don't have to wear umbrellas and stuff like that. I have a few ideas to work with this. I'm quite excited. That being said, I am going to cut the episode here. The reason why is I don't want it to get too long. I think we've done two excellent builds, and we'll go from there. As always, feel free to leave a like, drop a comment, let me know what you think of the content, let me know what you think of the build. If I could do anything better, I'm always interested in hearing your feedback on this. And of course, if you're feeling up to it, it helps me out. Subscribe. Otherwise, if you don't want to, that's cool. Otherwise, ciao for now, everybody.